What is it? What is it? What is it that Elon Musk and you have in common? The ability to learn. Let me tell you a little story about myself. After yesterday's video, as some of you have seen, or nobody, whatever the case may be, after yesterday's video, it was a little discouraging immediately after the video. I watched the video, and even before watching the video, I felt a little uncomfortable. And especially after watching the video, it just didn't feel very natural, didn't feel very comfortable. It felt awkward. And here's what I realized, that in the process of learning, not getting something perfect at first is completely normal. Making mistakes, being less than perfect on your first try is part of the learning process. That's what it means to learn. That's why we're here to learn. Listen, there is this experimental element of learning, where learning with the right mindset becomes like a kid trying to explore new things. That's why it's easy for kids to learn new things. I think in part people talk about the brain, people talk about the neuroscience behind it. Sure, we can talk about that all day long, but I think a big part is that for a kid, they're just curious about the world and they want to learn. They want to see what's out there. They want to try new things. They want to put their hands out there and see what happens in response. After yesterday's video, not only was I discouraged, but in preparing for today's video, I was tempted to go back into my old ways. The old ways. That sounds bad when I put it like that. But the old way would just be me pulling up the camera without really putting much thought into it beforehand, and then free flowing and seeing where the video goes. Now, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that approach, but I just think that there are limitations to that approach. And for my goal right now in trying to learn to be more structured, to really deliver a core message in my videos, that's not helpful at that stage, the previous method. So you see that it's tempting after trying it for what? Last week, this week, we just want to go back to our old ways and do what's comfortable for us. But understand this, as I said in the beginning, that learning, a big part of it is feeling unnatural, awkward, weird in the beginning when you try something new. But that doesn't mean you just give up after it not going perfectly the way you planned it out in your mind after the first try. You try it again. And that's why I said there's this experimental element, because after I looked at my video yesterday, instead of being dragged down by unuseful, negative, false thoughts, I looked at the situation and I understood that this was part of the learning process. Therefore, I was able to look at, okay, how can I improve then? What's something else I could try? What's something different that I could try? That is why today, and I wrote that down. I wrote that down yesterday. So today in preparing, though I was tempted, I looked back at what I learned yesterday from my reflection, and I did that. Instead of writing out the whole structured video in every phrase and every word, I wrote down the big ideas. There's still structure to this video, I hope, if you're following along. But I mean, this is part of the learning itself. And it's dropping down the big ideas. That's what I did today, dropping down the big ideas. And then knowing the key points that I want to share. Starting off with, hey, Elon Musk, there's my little hook to get you interested. I'm analyzing myself right now. And then I talked about the process of learning, the experimental element, which is what I'm trying to do right now in trying something new. And when you have that mindset about learning, when it becomes a process, understanding that mistakes are part of it, you can take a deep breath and slow down and really engage in what you want to say to the person. Because like I said, this isn't about views. It can be easily discouraging. Like, did we even have any views? I think we actually ended up with one view. I don't know how long that person watched a video from last week. Whatever the case may be, it's not about the views, it's about you. And I know that sounds contradicting or ironic at first, but I really try to communicate as if I'm speaking to one person. It doesn't matter if it's one view or 100 views or a million of views. I just want to learn to communicate, and this is my own learning journey. So, in learning to learn these learning skills and learning to communicate with you, I hope we can grow and learn together.